Hello and welcome to the Plot Resistance filler episode 2. The everybody we know is at Gen Con and we're totally jealous, but we still need to do something anyway episode. I've scooped up a couple of people to fill out the ranks, as it were. And from my other various Dungeon World impromptu things, Gwyn is here. Say hello, Gwyn.
Hello.
And then I have also picked up my good buddy for many years, Dominic.
I'm on the B team.
You are very much on the B team. Congratulations. This means you get to get everybody else water.
Yeah.
Good news is that a lot of this stuff is going to be recorded for posterity and stuck on the internet, so I don't need to remember what happened, but I don't remember what happened at all. Does anybody want to try and fill in some of the insanity that was caused?
There was a burning carriage.
Yes.
And then we were attacked by a group of dark-winged ducks.
I mean, they were bird people, but sure.
I specifically said they look like dark-winged duck, if memory serves me correct, and it definitely does.
He definitely said that, and nobody told him otherwise.
And then my character was knocked unconscious, so someone will have to go from there.
I remember that they were enraged by the color pink.
Because it's the color of their blood, and people use
Yes.
their blood as dyes. And, you know, when you go strutting around with a fancy scarf made from the blood of your family members, it might be a little angry. I also remember that you guys ended up outside the doors of Far From Poopin', which was a outpost on the border of some place that I can't remember, having just run from the sauerkraut, which is a giant spaghetti monster of some sort. Yeah, no, there was a lot of weird stuff that happened.
Yeah, and
sauerkraut
we
being one of
we
them.
sang a great song for the sauerkraut, and then ran like hell.
Yeah, you seduced it with the power of song.
Yes.
There was also somebody's lost love that I remember as well in there.
Yes, I didn't write her name down,
And
but
now
yes.
you know why she is a lost love, because you couldn't remember anything.
Yes.
Anniversary, her name.
It was terrible.
Oh, forgetting the anniversary, that's the worst.
Worse than forgetting her name.
Depends
Well,
on the
at least when you
situation.
forget her
Yeah.
name, you can just use pet names the entire
We call
time and
her-
kind of wing it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Baby.
until you look into her purse and get her name, right?
Wait till she falls
Or-
asleep.
Yeah, and or wait until someone else talks to her, and then you're like, "Yeah, I'm good, I'm good," and there you go. But there was that, and she sold herself into slavery or some shit because her signet ring was over in a corner.
Something along those lines. We're not too sure on the details because there was a lot
Yeah.
of failure rolls last time.
A whole lot of failure rolls.
Um,
Many failure rolls.
yes, but that's one of the things I love about Dungeon World is every failure is an opportunity for experience. But to go through it real quick with our two new folks who are be very introduced very shortly. You guys are starting off at level 2. I believe Gwyn is reprising his thief from the impromptu games. All right, maybe he's reprising
Huh?
nothing.
Yeah.
Who?
You?
You.
Oh yeah, Black Rat has 5 experience from the last time I played him, and then lost the sheet, and now I found it again.
And Dom is going to be playing a cleric.
Yes.
To just breeze through this real quick. I'm not going to ask for your attributes and stuff because I don't care all that much. What I am going to ask for is, what is your alignments?
He's lawful.
Oh,
Whatever.
no. What?
Yes.
The thief.
Nothing.
Then the second question is, what is... We know Black Rat's name. What is Dominic's name tonight?
It's Tiggles.
Tiggle. Great. Tiggle's the cleric.
Yes.
I mean, I guess it's better than attorney at war, but
You can put a
Yes.
hyphen in there, and it can be like Eagles. And
no.
it makes it more makes it more fantasy-like, I guess.
Nope, we're not doing that.
It's okay.
Um,
You're getting
is
some
he
cross
big?
promotion. No, he's normal size.
cross promotion with competing products. I don't think that it works that way.
Okay.
Nope.
So then I have a question for Black Rat and Tiggles in that you guys have found yourself on the inside of a seemingly abandoned fort. What previous adventures have you guys gone on that have formed some sort of minor bond between the two of you?
Um,
Who's Black Rat? That's what is he?
an opportunist.
He's a treasure hunter, if you harken back to the Super Nintendo era.
Yes.
I see.
A scout, so to speak. But mostly an opportunist. No, but he followed up on a rumor he got about some easy gear or treasure that could be, easily looted because nobody was there, nobody knew about it. And he just went and, bring somebody with you can, shove into the enemy's direction while you run, but did I say that out loud? No. He brought someone because having someone to carry all of the stuff is good.
And I was just going to visit the place because it's actually a holy site for my church, and I was just going there to commune. And I had no idea that he was actually a thief, a scummy thief, trying to steal and loot.
Man. So then I have a question of who is your god? Who is your god and what does he do?
Let's see here. My god is the god of my country. We are a very nationalistic religion,
Oh no.
and
Grand King Estuo Malleus.
yes, and we worship as one solid people, and we're very insular. And our country was once amazing, but over the time it has gotten worse. So we've spread out to try to make our country great again.
Oh, God. Damn it.
Oh.
Oh, I had to stop every
God.
single bug out here. Get over here.
Oh, okay. I kind of had a feeling that's where that was going to go when you started talking about the is it perhaps even the God Emperor that you follow?
Yes, he's the god king, and we worship him, Leslie.
Do we need to give him a text-to-speech translator?
No. Please no. Okay. So what is the actual thing that you guys would like to put down as a bond?
Hang on.
Doesn't
Got
have
a
to be
bond,
something
right?
off the sheet if you have a
I know,
you have an
but
idea for.
Tiggles is totally blinded by his faith and doesn't realize the world is completely. No, Tiggles is completely blinded by his faith.
Okay.
That's true. That is true. Yeah, and it's Black Rat, right?
Yes.
And all right, Black Rat's he's in constant danger. I'm trying to convert him to the all-knowing gaze of the God King.
Oh, I feel the need to ask what the other religious-oriented character in the group thinks of the God King, or what his religion thinks of the God King.
Well, his religion is the God King. My religion is the Grand King. Very obviously, we worship the same person just by a different name.
Is the many-faced God.
Yes.
That's
Well, rather, he is the Grand King, Estuo Malleus. We know his name.
Oh, okay. So then I just
now
have,
we will take the rules and bang on the door.
then I have just two questions. One, either one of the two of you guys can answer this, is going to be, what is the treasure that you have found here? The second one is, what caused you to drop it and run?
Pretty easy actually. It was a decently sized, massive gold religious statue. The
Mhm.
problem was it was cursed, blessed with a protection, and as soon as we tried to lift it, the protection manifested as 20 fully armed and armored soldiers wearing magical glowing weapons that crackled with fire, and all of them shouting death to the intruders. So my hands were off the statue immediately, and I was out of the gate before they even, finished their sentence.
Excellent. Tiggles, do you have anything you want to add to that horrific situation you find yourselves in?
I tried to reason with the 20 large flaming sworded constructs that were summoned when I tried to right the crooked statue because it was just a little off to the side there. And
Not trying to steal, just trying to right it.
I was just trying to pick it up. I mean, I wouldn't steal a statue like that because it was actually of the divine visage of our God King. So I was just trying to make sure that it was, in all its glory. Unfortunately, someone of unpure faith also touched it. Against my better judgment, it summoned the trap. I tried to disarm the trap by talking them down, and they promptly picked me up and threw me through a wall out the front door.
Yeah!
So we have the scene as Black Rat is running across the courtyard, and Tiggles comes flying through the wall, landing in a rolling heap. Meanwhile, the three of you that are outside kind of hear a repetitive, almost, I can't use the term robotic because we're in a fantasy land and there's no robots here. But
Mechanic.
Clockwork.
There you go. We'll go all steampunky clockwork on this. A very rhythmic kind of chanting that if you listen extra hard, you will hear a death to the intruders as you stand in front of the door to Far From Poopin'. What do you guys as a whole do?
Tomar looks at everyone. Is it supposed to do that?
I am going to discern realities. There we go.
I forgot about that, bro.
I'm going to think about what I know about Far From Poopin' and this rhythmic mechanical
that sounds
speech.
more like a spout lord necessary than I figure out what's going on as you give it a
In the ancient holy text, it is described as the ultimate countermeasure against looters after a holy site has
It's
been
okay.
vanished.
You have continued to
Jesus Christ.
to hold true. You may mark experience. I guess I'll throw this one on you. What? Let me ask the two guys inside. Nah, screw them. They've already done enough. So, what is
Damn it.
Man, I don't even.
What is the interesting thing I learn?
Well, you got a 6, so you failed. What is the interesting thing you think that you know is going on, but is actually not correct?
The GM will only tell you something interesting because this is a spout lore.
Okay, let me tweak this then as my cat runs around like a crazy person. You are familiar probably with a more militaristic bent where intruders could be a number of things. It could be a leftover defense mechanism that has somehow been triggered or maybe has not been disarmed from the last time it was on. It could be something more trap related. It could be something that they set off intentionally as kind of like a, oh snap, we need more folks.
I see.
How much of that feels like it satisfies what you were looking for?
As I look at the door to the gates of Far From Poopin', are there actually any guards?
You don't see anybody. You hear no signs of life outside of this get the intruders shenanigans.
The judge will take a step forward and heft his hammer, look to Johann von Lavenstein and Tomar, and spout very purposefully, "There are intruders, and we must act." The defenses have been rallied and charged through the gate.
Tamar takes one door, asks Johan to get the other, and we let the good judge go forward first.
So, in true fantastic fashion, you guys push the door open just in time as two curious figures come running through. If you guys want to go ahead and do descriptions of yourselves.
Sure. Black Rat is a human, pretty slim, thin. Like, if you look at him, like, he looks malnourished, but, if you take a closer look, you see he has, like, some muscle coming from climbing and, being flexible and all of that stuff. He's currently having his hood up, and, it's a dark hood, dark clothes, the usual shadowy stuff. But, his eyes glint out, and they have, like, this criminal energy eye glint. Like, he's always looking to get a profit, get some advantage, even if he has to, kick you into between your legs. Like, this is his kind of character. And he's currently not looking for that, but I assume, like, as soon as, like, the door opens and there's, like, space, you see him just slide through. Like, he's not taking even time to, press through. He just goes on his knees and slides through.
And what does Tickles look like?
Tiggles is a halfling. He is about 3.5 feet tall. He has blonde hair with an obvious comb over. He's got blue eyes, and he's a little bit chubby. Not just enough to kind of, normal halfling belly there. He wears a normal monk style, what do you call it? A friar's robe with a hood on the back. He is carrying a silvered mace that is, hooked onto his belt. He is pretty, bruised up and beaten looking because he just went through a wall. He's covered in dirt. He's very upset. He's running as fast as his little hobbit legs can take him. He's tripping over some of the cracked steps, making little pitfalls and rolls as he goes. He's attempting to outpace his companion as the constructs are following closely behind him.
And as you run into/past you, there are three other individuals out here if they want to go ahead and give a brief description.
As we go left from right, Tomar.
Tomar will go first. Tomar is a human wearing a hooded hat with a wallowing cape behind him, wearing a forest green appearance with brown boots. If he were to take off his hood, he'll actually have brown hair, kind of mussed up with everything, with a basic about like a 3-week-old beard. He has his wolf right behind him. His wolf's name is Toasty because there's a big giant scar that looks like a big giant burn scar across his face, looking quite nasty and ferocious.
Then you have the judge, who is on the other side of 6 feet tall, quite powerfully built with black and silver scale mail, which is visible only because his large robe-type cape is thrown open with the epaulettes falling to the back. He has a shining silver helmet, and his eyes glow a bit due to it. He's also got a huge silver maul that is slung over his shoulders. He is charging the other way, and as the roguish type tries to slide under him, you see him drop to a knee to stop Black Rat in his tracks, as he identifies that the person running from the things is obviously the intruder. And Johan.
Dun.
Johan is a 6-foot human as well. Curly Q mustache, man bun, armor. I'm going to say more of a handsome rogue. The handsomer of the rogues. And yeah, I'm seeing these guys. I'm basically Pulse does the hockey goalie move. And I scream.
He does a superhero knee.
I scream out, "Aha, a gambler," and point at the guy on the ground.
So we now have
His heart.
an interesting situation of 5 I don't want to call them heroes, but 5 folks brought together seemingly by fate, and a group of what looks like 20 magically animated constructs are heading in this direction. Granted, moderately slowly, but impeccably. That's not the right word, but unrelenting. There we go.
How often you actually see the intruders come to us?
As the judge attempts to grab Black Rat by the scruff of the neck and stand. And
Yeah.
he shouts at the automations. We have captured the intruder. You may stand down.
I tell you what, why don't you roll me plus your charisma as though you are giving an NPC an order based upon your divine authority.
Okay.
Oh, great. I'm going to get set up for this attack now.
Nah, this is just like an I am the law. You are the law. So on a 7+, choose one. They do what you say, they back away cautiously, then flee, or they attack you.
They do as I say.
Okay, so you will see this rhythmic churning of automation kind of come to a stop, and they will split paths so that there is a nice little walkway down the middle of them, almost as if to bring him inside for judgment, questioning, reprisal, all of the things that I'm sure Black Rat has no want or interest in being part of.
Yeah, not a fan.
Will you come quietly?
Great. For what? I did nothing wrong. We moved the statue because this guy. I will point to the housing.
Listen. All right, guys. We didn't do anything wrong here. We went into the temple. The statue was crooked. I hate crooked statues. We went over to fix the statue. We turned the statue straight up, and these guys attacked us. They attacked us illegally. Okay, they were here. They went after us. We had to run. Okay, we didn't do anything wrong.
No.
They seem to be on the up and up. It doesn't seem like a lie to me.
As the judge heaves his hammer off of his shoulder and strikes the ground with a thunderous crack. Let all who here understand that my court is in session in the judgment of Grand King Arturo Malleus stands vigil.
You hear Grey Rat just mutter, great, another lunatic.
As the judge points at Tiggles, you shall be quiet until this one, as he points at Black Rat, has stated his case. Do you understand?
Oh, I understand perfectly. You let the man seek his face.
Can I be his attorney? I'm lighting up a cigarette.
Oh, I think at that point in time, I think the poor wolf is actually kind of hiding behind Tomar at this point in time. It's okay. He's not lighting the whole forest on fire. It's all right, Toasty. Kind of pisses behind the ear.
Hold on, real quick. So there's 20 spectral knights just chilling about 30 yards from us hanging out.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm cool with that.
It looks like they're awaiting something.
They're awaiting the judgment.
Should he not receive some type of representation? I feel that is only fair, Judge.
If you wish to represent them, you may.
Okay. I walk over to them. You can be honest with me. It is against the law for me to tell them anything important.
I like this conversation happening 5 feet away. They're just kind of standing there like...
I'm kind of whispering, sort of. Leaning in. Taking a knee.
Down low.
So what do you guys want to do in this situation? I'm not sure how to run court. So...
Well, what's my lawyer's name again?
Johann von Lavenstein.
Johann von Lavenstein. Listen, Johann. Can I call you Johann? Johann. Okay. We're traveling far and wide. Okay. We're looking for materials. We go to the temple. Temple's good. I love the temple. Temple's a great guy. We go there and we touch a statue. These guys come out and attack us. We run out. I get through a wall, off a wall. It's a great wall. We're going to make it bigger. And then we run into you guys. That's the whole story.
Was there any markings saying this area was off limits?
Not that I saw. I mean, I'm not a big greeter. I'm just walking through. I see a door. I go through the door.
And does this temple belong to any indigenous peoples?
Indigenous people, we were here for a long time. I mean, I think this temple is our temple. People enter this temple illegally all the time. It's got to stop. This is a temple for everybody that's here in this country right now. And I think this temple is something that we need to make sure that we keep secure and safe.
I spin around on my heel and raise my voice so the judge can hear me. Aha! This temple is public property, and thus they were not infringing upon anyone. These ghosts are clearly in the wrong. So do I get to roll con or?
Is there a roll for how convincing you sound?
I knew I should have put more points in charisma.
God damn it. I bit my finger too hard.
Clearly these men are innocent of any wrongdoing. And they should not only be let go, but given commendations for being such fine young men of the community, since they were trying to straighten out artwork, or maybe see if it belonged to someone else. These men merely found a wallet and were looking to return it. So do I roll charisma, or?
Do you have evidence?
It's first
Of
another
this crooked-
PC, so
of
like
this crooked statue?
It is not up to the accused to prove innocent. It is for the prosecution to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that they are guilty.
Bring one of them ghosts up there. We'll deputize him. We'll see what he has to say.
As the judge looks disparagingly at the automations. I do not feel that they are competent to stand witness. As such, I, the judge, will assess the necessity of evidence, of which at least some must be provided for me to render fair judgment.
Well then, perhaps I shall go get the statue and see for myself if it is crooked. I look over at the Spectral Knights. Maybe not.
As the judge looks to the Spectral Knights, you will let this one, as he points to Tomar, pass unhindered to assess the claims made.
What,
So-
to Tomar?
somewhere in there, the one member of the groups of these knights is going to kind of like do that thing where you scratch your head because you're like, I don't know what's going on.
It's okay. I think we should let this guy do it. He doesn't seem too terrible.
Right? Another one will kind of like lean forward out of the rank and file and kind of thumb a thumb in the direction of the door, like with a small head shake.
Tomar starts walking towards it, bringing
Yeah,
his puppy with him.
Blackrock will try to like slowly fall back. Like just like
He's gonna take 2
completely
steps back.
inconspicuous. Yeah. No, it's like you walk and I walk just slightly slower so the distance gets bigger and at some point he just turns around and runs.
So is everybody going to find the statue of the God Emperor? I'm sorry, the
Yeah.
God King?
God King, thank you. I'm gonna walk down with
Only,
him very loudly.
I will point out that only Tomar was given authorization to go.
And he walks ahead.
Is everybody else going to go anyway, or?
Well, I know the statue is. I mean, and I'm the accused, so I think I should also be following with him into the set
to
temple.
make sure that evidence is not tampered with, obviously.
It's correct.
Right. And the judge will let everyone pass before him and then take up the rear.
Yeah, Blackrock will just, make a frustrated sound and then, walk up.
So we have a very confused conga line of a man and his dog. Somewhere in there is a halfling that is. I just keep imagining the Friar Tuck from the Animal Robin Hood that Disney put out.
Yeah, that's about right. Short, chubby, blonde Friar Tuck, but not a bear.
I imagine fourth in line is a person who is looking at any possible opportunity to to skedaddle, and then finally the judge, gavel in hand, as I have renamed it to the gavel and not just a mace or a maul. That's boring and
Yes.
not judgely. You guys will go into the fort, as it were. It's
Yep.
well, kind of like most forts of this day and age, except you don't see any evidence of inhabitation or no like commerce, no people running around, not even like anything super interesting as you approach uh, the main doors to the place that two spectral knights will pull open and bid you enter. What do you guys want to do?
Um, the Tomorrow's going to discern realities.
By
By actually looking at where the fingerprints were on the statue.
oh well, the statue's inside a little bit. It's not like right inside the main door.
All right. Well, the whole point is to make sure that hey, it was just slightly crooked. Doesn't look like they were trying to take it at this point.
Yeah, well, you'll get there when you get to the thing, but you're just like this is the opportunity for you if you want to do anything in the courtyard going into the actual entirety of the fort.
Oh, yes,
Tomorrow
Blackrock
starts
will.
singing at this point in time.
Oh God. Blackrat will, he ran here once and that was in a hurry, so he will now, look around, try to be sneaky kind of about it, or like inconspicuous, and look for like escape routes, hidey holes, all of that stuff.
Sure. If you want to go ahead and roll your discern realities, we'll see what kind of interesting information you can find.
This was intelligence, right? Oh, wisdom. Oh, cool. But it would be about criminal activities?
Do you have a thing specifically about criminal activities?
Yes. My ratio trait.
Yep, then that would count.
Cool.
Even though I don't know what it is off the top of my head.
Oh,
So, congratulations, you may mark experience.
Yay!
And I feel like I should turn this one over to the judge to describe just how escape-proof this place is from the inside.
Oh God. So, the walls and palisades thereupon are at least 20 feet high and 10 feet thick at the top. The gates themselves are shut and barred with iron reinforced thick hickory doors. The gates themselves are actually quite small, meaning that you couldn't really escape or get in with much past that. There is nary a way out other than that. The drain is maybe the size of your fist. The sump itself is not that deep, as Far From Poopin is in a surprisingly arid area of the countryside. There are no buildings that are built up against the walls, as if they intentionally left a dead zone there so that intruders could not just easily get in. It's a second form of defense, you see. And in the center is indeed the temple, with a long, flat piece of ground between it and everything else, because the majesty of the Grand King must stand above all.
And as everyone knows, the God Emperor's people were some of the best masons in the world, so they are renowned for their wall-making abilities. So the security of this temple is top-notch.
Yes.
So being well
Unless you get thrown through it.
Yeah,
It's
takes a lot of
decayed.
force.
It's decayed a little bit.
So being well traveled, is there any way I can discern like how long people has actually been missing here, for how much the sand, how much dirt has been coming up, how much dust has been
there
around?
we go. You may go ahead and roll your discern realities, and we'll see which kind of useful information you can get. We'll also see if anybody can succeed at a roll tonight.
Right.
Now you're going too far there, GM. Too far indeed.
So /R.
Too soon.
6 + 1. Yay! I got a 7.
Okay, so you may ask a singular question from the discern realities list.
What happened here recently?
It looks like there was some kind of mass exodus. The area is free of people, but it's free of people in a more controlled fashion. Like their personal belongings are gone. Their their tools for their like. They're not going to take the forge that they use to make stuff, but they'll take the hammers and the chisels and the tongs and all of that fun stuff. Um, which is a little strange because typically people don't just vacate a seemingly otherwise perfectly good fortification.
Defensible city. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like super big. There wouldn't be a huge number of people that lived here. You're looking at maybe 50 to 100, depending upon how much, how tightly they wanted to pack them in at any one given time, and travelers, traders, that kind of thing. Um, but sometime within the past 3 to 6 months, everybody's gone.
I say it to the party. This is unusual. I mean, there's the as Tamara walks over to where a potential dust cloud will probably be and wipes his finger against it. I would probably say 4 to 6 months they've been missing.
Does he start licking the dirt too?
No.
Good.
I mean, he's a ranger, so they have some strange ways.
The dog does definitely lick his nose and smells around for a little bit and kind of whimpers and whittles just a little bit. Yeah, you're right. They have been missing for that long.
Perhaps
Judge.
there is something in these walls that scared them off. I raise an eyebrow like the na-na-na to the rest of the group.
So
The judge notes all of this to think and talk about after he is done holding court.
I'm pretty sure it's just more charges to be levied against these two.
You're right.
True.
That's how it works, right? Oh, you're from
Let's
New York.
find the statue then.
Awful lot of unsolved crimes in New York, eh? So I'll ask the thief and the cleric then. Are you guys leading them like straight to the statue, or are you kind of exploring a little bit?
Well, the faster that we take them to the statue, the faster that they will figure out that the statue is perfectly straightened. So I would like to lead them on the opposite door that leads down to the labyrinth into the bottom of the fort.
Yeah, let's not show them the statue. Just, let's explore it.
Just not yet. We gotta have some talk to them. We gotta understand them. We gotta, see where they're coming from.
Do you remember the way? Exactly, because I had 20 guys behind me. I
understand
remember
completely.
shit.
No, I know exactly where the statue is, guys.
The judge will have a look and see if the statue, the spectral knights that they apparently are leading us to the.
They have all kind of stood in that little like walkway they made for you guys in that courtyard where his I forget the exact words that were used, but like none shall stand above him. Like they are all in a nice little line sitting out there and have not moved from their spot except for the one guy that just scratched his butt.
Tomorrow looks as Wolf. Are you able to smell where they come from? Look, do you see footprints across? Can you follow that and go all the way back to the place they started from?
Oh, you actually have a tracking thing, don't you?
Yes, he does.
You may go ahead and roll that, sir.
Okay, so 2d6 plus 2. 9.
I believe that actually gets you to get there until until something changes. I don't feel like continuing to look for it. So you will notice that the many footprints in the dust seem to be going not the direction that they're trying to take you in. These footprints are very obviously of somebody who is running, and kind of like running maybe a little bit too fast, so they kind of stumble a little bit, and then you see like a handprint as they kind of catch themselves and keep running. That very like, I need to power slide under this falling door, then reach back and grab my hat kind of situation.
Mm-hmm. Is it of these two, or is it someone else?
It is presumably, given as these are the only other living people you have found here so far, presumably at least one of them.
Judge, can you do me one small favor?
The judge will blink
It is a
as
weird favor.
the glowy eyes go out and come back on for a moment.
Do his
Is
eyelids
a-
actually close, or is just the light turn on and off?
Kind of like the light turns on and off.
Ugh.
When he's got the helmet on, you don't see his eyes.
No, I guess that's true.
Can you hold your ward real still for a second?
As the judge will incline his head slightly to the two accused.
Tamara walks up to the thief and takes the back of his spear and bops him on the head. You went the wrong way. Where is it? You went the wrong way. Show us the right way.
I'm sorry, I was chased by 20 armed guards.
Right,
I'm
but
sorry.
even and I. By the way,
You will
look
no
like-
longer harass the accused. Where is the direction they came from? They obviously left in distress. Therefore, we will not hold them accountable for misremembering the path.
Understood. By the way, it looks like this direction. Shall we follow forth?
He will motion for you to lead on.
All right, we do so.
So
Tosi is in front.
as you guys follow the correct path, you will notice that you only see the footprints of the this person who was running. You do not see the spectral knights having their footprints because they ignore your puny laws of physics.
Mm-hmm.
You will come down to a more ornate. Tiggles, would you like to describe some of the ornamentation of your god that is all upon the walls?
Of course, it's either gold leafed or gold painted. It's very bright. Some would say gaudy, but other people say it's glorious. It's kind of a leaf-like pattern, almost like ivy, but with gilded gold. It loops around the entire long square hallway. And in the front of it is an ivory fountain. The water of it slowly trickles out. It looks like it's been somewhat not maintained. A lot of algae is starting to grow into it. On the left and right, you can see various stalls. It looks like this was some sort of common area or some of a small marketplace where people would gather and sell their wares, as capitalism is one of the main tenets of the religion. So money and the religion go hand in hand around here.
So
Some would say the gold paint is cheap, as they had tried to scrape it off after a time.
I imagine Black Rat has a pocket full of gold leaf scrapings.
Yeah,
I
but
was
yeah, no, it's counterfeit, worthless.
So, this fountain that you mentioned, you will notice that since you have been here just shortly before, the water is a lot lower than it should have been, as if it was being siphoned away with great purpose. The statue is at the other end of the hall, and there is some well, it feels like maybe some slight disturbance to the room since last time you were here. What do you guys want to do?
Well, I'm gonna go
Black
walk right over to that statue and see how crooked it is.
Sure.
Like pull out a level, you know.
Oh my god, are you
Start-
like the little short nerdy chicken from Foghorn Leghorn with a slide rule?
Absolutely.
Excellent. If you want to go ahead and discern realities, we can see what you can find out.
And that's a wisdom roll, correct?
It is
And that's just a straight D20?
2d6 plus whatever your wisdom modifier is.
Or minus whatever my wisdom modifier is. Bam!
Perfect.
Oh boy. Come on. Two. Actually, one.
Hold on, what? Okay. I think I just blew things up. Oh, I tried to roll in the Skype. That's what happened. Everything's going according to plan. Don't worry.
Come on, two ones.
I mean,
How dare
a
you.
1 to a 6 is no different, so.
All right.
Hey! There you go.
Hey,
So, you may ask me one question from the Discern Realities table right over here.
Hold on. I gotta zoom in. Gotta zoom in some more. This is some great radio right now. BT dubs.
That's right. We're great at bad radio. Would you like me to read them to you, or have you gotten it now?
No, I'm reading them. I just don't understand how any of this has anything to do with a statue being crooked.
Because it doesn't have anything to do with just the statue being crooked. There may be other things going on that you could gain insight or information into.
Okay, what's here that is not what it appears to be?
That's good.
So what you can see is that the statue is indeed off of its perfection. However, it has been moved from where it was, because you can see like the very obvious drag marks. But underneath that statue, you see what looks like a symbol of some kind. That the statue is maybe placed on top of, off-centered, on purpose.
It seems as if they did not want to cover up this symbol all the way.
It seems like it was the opposite. It seems like the statue was put here to cover up the symbol all the way.
I'm lying through my teeth.
No problem. Just making sure. I didn't want my description to become muddled.
No, not at all. Not at all. You see, I believe they were trying to move it back to where it obviously came from. They came into this room, the statue had been moved, they was like, hey, let's move it back. And then these guys show up with their spectral knight stuff, chasing them, trying to stab them to death. Obviously, these men are innocent.
As the judge has senses that pierce lies.
Well, I mean, I don't know it's a lie.
That's what I was about to ask.
It could be the truth.
GM, do I discern that this is a lie or his perception of the truth? Since I have that boon for my quest.
Is that your perception of what's going on, or are you attempting to
Well, I mean, that could definitely be the truth. You know what I mean? I mean, I wasn't there. I don't know. He takes a skeptical view of everything. You know what I'm saying? He's agnostic. Yeah. He needs evidence either way. I mean, it's just as likely to be one as the other. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So once again, it's the job of the prosecution to prove that they committed a crime, not the job of the innocent.
We can do an interesting thing here to make use of the boon of your quest, because we wouldn't want to short you on something that is intrinsical to spreading the good name of your lord. You could potentially ask either of the two accused as to what was going on, as to whether or not his rendition of the facts that he has seen are true.
I will ask the defendants directly. As the judge crosses his arms over his chest, and speak through. What was going on with the statue? As there was something...
They do not have to answer that. They cannot incriminate themselves.
I plead the fifth.
You have been questioned directly by a judge. You will answer. If nothing else, you will answer through your defendants.
My cigarette just ashes. Just sitting there completely quiet.
I plead the fifth, and so does my friend here. And you can't bully us around.
I am not a bully, I am holding court.
Judge, you must follow the rules of the court, or else you are not a judge at all much, are you? You see, these men, they could be altar boys. So, it is not... Sorry.
No, you get. I was going to ask a question. Black Rat, what are you doing about this situation that you have found yourself in?
Currently trying to be, not there, just, take a half step back behind the halfling and trying to make the halfling
a lot of good.
stand
Halflings
out.
are very short.
I know.
So you may attempt in this situation to defy danger with your dexterity as you try
Oh.
to. What is the description? Unless you want to use something else.
Uh, uh, Probably. Ah, God damn it. Yeah, he's probably just, stepping, half stepping out of the way of like the judge's direct line of sight.
Okay.
Just let the halfling explain it. He is the one who hired me.
Which I believe is very much the exact opposite of what you said earlier, but okay.
Yeah. Shit.
So, good news.
Basically, I'm just calling him out on jurisdiction. These guys are kind of the judge. I mean, we're in the middle of a field in a temple in the middle of nowhere. I don't see any type of bailiff. Where is the information? I just met this man. How can you call trial? I mean, where's the law here? Where's the due process?
You are receiving your due process now, for I am a judge of the Grand King Arturo Malleus, and I hold court where I see fit.
So you will stumble, hesitate, or flinch. I can offer you a worse outcome, a hard bargain, or an ugly choice.
So, I have a good question to ask him. Do they think of themselves as sovereign citizens?
Sovereigns? Are they extraterritorial?
Okay. Actually, yes, I have an idea of what actually happens. I try to stick with them, but one of the stones is like out of shape just slightly, just enough to bring me off balance. It's the usual movie stuff of like, I try to be sneaky, and then plop, I just fall on my ass. Just
So-
like, well,
Good news. That kind of goes along with the idea that I had. I was going to make it slightly worse. In that, in the process of you having this stumble or whatever, you're going to end up placing your hand once again upon the statue. And
oh yeah,
shifting
good idea.
it.
I just flail. I flail. Just pop. Oh shit.
Yep. So good news, everybody. You hear a grinding of stone a little bit as the statue shifts position again, because apparently it was not ever very heavy.
It's hollow.
Like all of his promises.
Yeah.
I'd say like his power, but yes.
So the statue has moved, and you guys will notice that the fountain that was slowly being siphoned off kind of opens up and begins to completely empty out.
I blame
The judge
physics.
sees this and kind of puts his hands on his hips. Well, it seems that nothing here is what it seems. On the charge of trespassing, I hold no contest, as no authority has been shown. And on the charge... fucking throat.
It's like those terrible accents, right?
Yeah, right. And on the charge of intrusion, I find you not guilty, based upon the apparent flimsiness of this statue. And he will turn to the Spectral Knights. Judgment has been rendered, and you are expected to comply.
They will perform the salute of the God King and begin to despawn. Tiggles, this judge fellow with his self-righteousness has just declared the symbol of your God King hollow. How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, he's a great guy and all, but I'm not really too worked up on this, random country judge's, area over here. They're not really sending their best people over here. So, he's obviously here illegally in my country, and he's probably just, here just trying to, input their country's laws in our law. We have to follow the rules here in our country, and he just can't come from his country and then come into our country and then start holding trial in the middle of nowhere. So I really don't really recognize the things. He can say it's a flimsy statue. He can say it's a flimsy symbol, but I'm thinking it's huge. I think it's great. I think it's wonderful. And, that's really just how it's going to happen to be there.
So then I have a question for the religious members of the group of what is the unholy sound you hear coming from the hole that the fountain was atop?
It is The waffle crapper.
Fucking A!
A waffle crapper.
I think that's a new name. God damn it. The waffle crapper.
I like how it's spelled with a V at the beginning.
The waffles crapper.
The waffle crapper.
You know, it almost sounds like
The
like a plane. You know, like I'll never forget the day the waffle crapper flew over my village. You know what I mean?
God damn it.
It's
Jesus.
so bad, but it's not any worse than.
The waffle crapper. There you
There
go.
you
I
go.
have the spelling for you right now.
All right.
May want to put the phonetics right behind it just in case. So,
Oh man. Okay. So yeah, you guys hear the sounds of what Mr. Lavenstein has proclaimed quite loudly: "Waffelklappen."
I'm
The
going to
judge
stop
will
for-
be mortified at the sound, as this is a terrible thing, and the sheer existence in this church is troubling at best. And he hefts the gavel upon his shoulder and looks to the others, especially the friar. Do you stand ready?
I stand ready. The waffle crapper, not a good a deal.
And with that, let's take a quick break, and we'll come right back.